Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're highly interested in producing building plans, maybe to clients in your local area, then this is the right channel for you. If you've been wondering how to do it in AutoCAD, this is the right channel for you. Please never subscribe and share. If you subscribe, then whenever there is a new upcoming video, you'll be let to know. So please share, like, and then subscribe to this channel. So without further ado, allow us to go further. So I'm going to use AutoCAD. I'm using AutoCAD Civil 3D, and I've switched my workspace to drafting and annotation. If you're using the normal AutoCAD, then you should be also in drafting and annotation. We switch the workspace from here. Here, this is a Civil 3D software, so it has a couple of Civil 3D switching. So I'm going to work in the workspace called drafting and annotation. This is the interface that appears. I'll first take you through the interface so that you familiarize with the software. So here we have the blue ribbon, or the ribbon, the CAD ribbon. And then on top, these are just like menu bars. And then it also has tabs. On top, we have the home tab, the insert tab, the annotate tab, parametric, view, manage, output, collaborate, add-ins, feature apps, express tools. And then, on top here, we have your account. If you have an Autodesk account, you can already sign in here. And then if at all Autodesk has any other new feature, or maybe you would like to inquire about any of the Autodesk products, then you can always shop from there using your account, or purchase a product, or maybe you can make any inquiries. That's the use of this account. So say these are tabs, and then the other way of mastering this AutoCAD, it is arranged in tabs and panels. On top, we say these are tabs. For whichever tab you open, it has a series of items or panels that come through. So taking you through the home tab, for example, we have the first part. It is arranged there like columns. The first part is like the first panel, it's a draw panel. The second one is a modify panel. Under the draw panel, this will find a line, polyline, circle, arc, rectangle. We have this is a circle or an ellipse, and then this is for hatching. That is the first panel. The second panel is modify. You can modify any drawing made maybe in the workspace. You can maybe need to move it. Note that these features are like the ones we've been seeing maybe in Excel. You have used Excel before, or Word. You can move a word, you can cut it, you can paste it, you can trim. So another beautiful thing with AutoCAD, whenever you place your cursor on a certain item, to really show you what a certain icon does. For example, here I point to move. It tells me that it will move objects a specified distance in a specified direction. So that's the functionality. We also have the rotate tool. It is used for rotating the objects. Say you want to orient it at a certain angle, then you should always use rotate. Then you can trim. We can copy. This one takes a copy of the original. You can mirror. It mirrors like you have an original, and then to reflect on the other side. Then we have a fillet or chamfering. This is filleting. We can round the edges of corners. In chamfering, we can flatten the edges of the corners. This is, for example, we also have the explode tool. This explosion is if I have my objects, or maybe they are polylines, and I'd like to break them into simple lines. I'd rather choose it, and then I explode. So I will take each and every exploded item as a line to be disintegrated. And then also we have stretch. We can stretch the objects that have been created, like you can see in the image over there. We can also scale. We can scale our drawings, or maybe you could find we're importing a file from and it's an external reference, and maybe want to scale it to the real dimensions actually of our choice. This is the scale we shall always use. And it works on the basis of a scale factor. You must have a base and then the scale factor. We shall look at this later. We also have what we call the array. Array. We have either rectangular array or path array, or maybe polar array. If it's a rectangular array, then that means it arranges your objects, or it creates multiple objects in a certain in a rectangular manner. If it's a path array, then to create multiple objects along a certain curvature or a certain line or spline. If it's a polar array, then to create multiple, for example, if you're maybe modeling a conference hall, that means you have your circle, and then it will be able to spread all those shares around the table you've created or modeled. We also have another important feature called the offset tool. This offset tool is for actually copying or maybe creating another distance relative to the first one. So we shall look at how to use this. So this is the modify panel, and that's how we can classify AutoCAD. We also have the layers panel. Under the layers, these are useful in the manner that they help us to arrange our work. So these are the layers. You can create a new layer. So this can either click it off, you can isolate a layer, you can freeze, you can lock, you can make current, you can turn all layers on, you can unisolate, you can thaw all layers, you can unlock, and then you can match the layer. Then the annotation tab, the annotation panel is simply for labeling, then dimensioning, adding text, adding tables, so adding fonts. We shall look at how to deal with all this. Then blocks, you can have external references. Supposing I want to include cars maybe in my model or my design. If I want to include furniture in my drawing, so I'll be prompted, or it'll be possible for me to import a certain block, maybe from the internet or maybe from any storage path, and then I can be able to bring it into AutoCAD. We also have the properties. We also have the properties panel here, which have match properties. You can, if I've created something here, maybe I want the same features to be transferred to the other element, then I will just match properties so that they're identical. Then here we can set our line weights. The thicknesses of the line do matter because you're trying to communicate to the end user. For example, if there are outlines, if it's an outline, then we must use a thick line, say of thickness 0.5. If they are just construction lines, then must use a thickness less than 0.3. And then you must also we must have an idea about how our lines look like. Line types communicate a lot. For example, we have what we call construction lines, we have thick lines, we have thin lines, and then also have phantom lines. So all those represent a lot of things because you're trying to communicate the end user, you as a craftsperson or you as a person trying to actually model something out of AutoCAD. The other thing are the groupings. We have the grouping panel over there. Oops, sorry, my machine is trying to freeze. It's freezing a little bit, so I'm sorry for that. Sorry, guys. Sorry for this freezing. I hope I don't get you bored. So, all right. So I come back to the groups panel. We have we can group. Group means have different items, and then I would like to bring them together. So by so doing, I'll group them and then make them uniform. Every time I want to transfer a thing, it goes as a whole. Then the utilities over here, this is for measuring. We have different types of measurements. It could be quick, distance, radius, angle, area, then volume. Also the clipboard where we can paste, copy, cut, and execute a number of items. Sorry. The other thing that we have what we call, this one here is what we call the model space where we can actually draw our objects. So this salon here works like Excel. If at all I wanted to add another drawing minus closing this very very interface, I will just click on this plus button to add a new drawing. Beneath it, we also have the model space, which is this for one working in. And the layouts like Excel does, this is where we shall be printing out. This is the print area. So please make sure you follow this video from the start to the end. This is the very first part. So make sure you move with me up to the very last and see how we can print actually to the end user, how we can plot our work. And then it is ready for site work. As well, here we can also expand these layouts and have a couple of them there. Here, this is a command. This is a type command. It is like a command window. You can type in anything you want. So remember, in AutoCAD, whatever you type, if you want a line, just type line. It will come polyline, polyline. So everything, any command you want to run, just type it in over here, and then the software will actually bring you that command that can execute a certain thing. Here we have this grid. If you want the grids to display, the grids over there, you click here. If you want them to disappear, then you switch them off. Snap mode. Here, the snapping mode. Here it helps you to, when you want to snap something on the grid, then make sure you activate this. Then you can snap, or it maybe attracts. The snap is like a magnet. It attracts where you want to start. Then here we have dynamic input. Dynamic input allows us, for example, to, when we're drawing, it brings sort of like coordinate system. It brings two boxes, one for distance and the other for the angle. So we shall see how to do it. Then we also have the ortho mode. Ortho mode helps us moving vertically straight and maybe horizontally straight. It keeps perpendicularity. So if at all I want to do straight lines, I make sure my ortho mode is switched on. Then this is the polar angle, polar tracking. It helps you to track angles. I can set here angles, tracking settings, and then track them along this. If I wanted an angle maybe of 30 degrees, I would first set it here and then put the polar tracking on, and then I can be able to trace my angle along that reference. I also have isometric drafting. We shall see those. What else? I think we need to see the line weights. For example, if I've set my line weights over there, then I can switch on this so that it will show you the line weights or the magnitude or the thickness of certain line weights. Some of these I'm going to use them in our real drawing. All right. Then if at all you want to add maybe some other tools, if I go further, another important part we need to know is setting the scale. Here we can set the scale, and the standard scale for drawing will always be 1 to 100. When you're drafting plans, the major scale, or maybe the default scale, should always be 1 to 100. That is when you're drafting ground plans and then elevations and all that. That is what we call 1 to 100. It is a neutral scale. Then anything below that, say 1 to 15, so anything below this is we're actually trying to magnify. Okay, we're trying to magnify, we're trying to detail. Then everything above 1 to 100, that is for site layouts. For example, for large areas, if I'm planning, for example, for a large area, then expect my scale to be above 1 to 100 because I'm trying to reduce the area. So that's it. Here, there are these 3 customization lines. Here, this is where you can toggle on whatever you want. If you want to work in coordinates, make sure you switch it on. You can see, you can be able to trace the coordinates of where to begin from, anything you want, the units. So put it on there. To already show it here. Working in architecture, maybe decimal. So to already show you, just toggle in over here, and then you can choose whatever you want to show. And then you can uncheck anytime you want to leave. We also have these items here. This is called full navigation wheel. If I told you've done this in 3D, or maybe you want to see the 3D or you want to model the 3D of the plan you've made here, then you shall be able to use this full navigation wheel. We have the pan that helps us actually flip along our screen, like we shall see. And you also have the zooming of extents. Here it helps us to zoom extents or to zoom into the items that have been lost, or maybe they have been minimized to the least precision. We also have the orbit. It helps us to orbit around. And then we also have this, who's called this cube over here, is for orienting your drawing. If I want it drawing in isometric, then I have to toggle on this corner here, and then I'll be able to see the isometric perspective of it. If I want to see the top, then it will be this. Make sure it is always oriented in the north. Project setting. So that was a brief recap of our interface. I think we can go on. We're not going to draw. I will take you through a simple ground plan. We shall do it from A to Z up to the plotting stage. So we're supposed to make actually a 3-bedroomed house with actually a living room with one to have one bathroom and then a toilet. Then I shall also have a dining, a living room, a veranda, and then all that, and then a shed. So before you go any further, you have to first set the units. So you count this ribbon here, this logo over there. Then you choose drawing units. We shall have to first set our working units. Here comes a pop-up window. Is length and angle. So under the length type, I choose decimal. Precision, I take to 1 decimal place, or maybe 2, depending on how many decimal places you want to measure. I can say maybe I want to, if they're millimeters, then that means you'll be 1 decimal place. I say like 1,200 millimeters. In my country here, we are the British Protectorate, so we measure everything in the metric system. So if you're my brother or my sister over there, maybe you're using the imperial system, that means you have to switch into feet. Then the type angle, I'll keep it decimal degrees. Precision, measure angles, the whole number. Then I take my units to be millimeters. Lighting, okay, keep it international, say okay. I've set my units. The other thing to do is actually I'll set a scale, which is already 1 to 100, just to go it over here, then come choose 1 to 100. That's the default scale. Then another thing is I have to set my layers. What do I mean by setting layers? Layers mean I'm going to draw a house plan, meaning to say I'll have items or elements like walls, windows, and I'll have the roof, then I'll have say columns. So how to set those layers so that whenever I'm drawing, they are able, the AutoCAD is able to tell me that I'm dealing with walls maybe. So I go to, sorry. I'll straight come to layers panel, and I go to layer properties. And the layers properties, a pop-up window will come up. Try to expand so that we can exhaust whatever is inside here. So inside here, I'm supposed to create layers. So I come to new layer. I can either say Alt N, create a new layer, or maybe you choose this icon with a yellow sun. Then you realize I already have existing layers simply because I'm working in AutoCAD Civil 3D, which comes with layers embedded in. But if you have the other ordinary AutoCAD or the usual AutoCAD 2D, then we don't expect to see all these layers except the first layer, which is the default layer, which comes as a 0 or as a div point. So I can say maybe my walls, set my walls. I keep it on. Visible freeze means I don't want to see it. I keep it on. I won't lock it. Then color, I can set it on my walls be white. I can set type of line by choosing into this, and then you can always choose the type of line from here. I will use continuous line, say okay. And then the line weights. If those are walls, then I'll set my wall, because I'm trying to communicate should be thick. Therefore, I will take 0.5. I hit OK. That's the line weight I've taken for it. And the description, you can add any description. got another one, another layer. I can call this maybe windows. Let's say I can keep them, I can give them a line weight of say maybe cyan. Say okay. Also be, oh, sorry, where am I? Oops. Oops. Oh, I'm Windows here. Cyan, yes. The line weight, as long as I can keep it to maybe 0.25. And I say is add another layer called those. I'm going to give it color. I'm going to give it color red. Line same. The line weight I keep it 0.25. I'll make it thin. For my doors. I'm not seeing my created doors. Let's hope I'll find it. Okay, let me create one. So call it doors red. Okay, 0.25. Okay, all right. So they're telling me it's already news close. Okay. Close that. Skip. Layer one over here. Say doors radius. And say this is also opening. That's my description. Center. So I've set those three. So like after that, then I will choose, I want to begin with walls, so I come and choose walls, then I check, I click in it. So meaning whatever I'm going to draw, I'll be in a layer called walls, and it will always, it is going to display over here. And whatever is set here, it has properties of what I've actually set it in. It has all the properties that I set before. The other thing I'm going to do is to save my drawing. So I go to save as, since it's my first time, I go to drawing, and then I'm going to save it as AutoCAD drawing file. So I'm going to choose the lower version, make sure I'm going to take 2018. And then, so here it is showing me my file path or where it will be saved. You can always edit. So I can say maybe I want it saved in D. This over there, and send projects. In my call, I want it to be saved in as practice one. Let's say press enter, and then my drawing, my name will always be up above over there. Right, so let's go on. The other thing, you can see my crosshair here is very small. I hate it that way, so make it larger. I simply right click, I got options, and then I choose my crosshair size. I make it bigger, apply, hit OK. So here you go. I'm now comfortable at least. Great. So the first thing you have to do is you have a plan. You have first sketched on the paper, and then realize how many horizontal walls or how many vertical walls I have. So with me here, I have about 1, 2, 3, 4 vertical walls. I first sketched it, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horizontal walls. So the thing I will do is I will actually come to the draw panel. I will choose what we call construction line. Remember, I'm reflecting what we call the walls. So I drop it here and make sure it is like that. center if you want it in that direction. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Okay, let me pull out any line. And it's causing freeze. Make sure your auto mode is on to keep you actually vertical. So I'll keep it this way. Press enter. Oh, oops, my line was already there. Sorry about that. Like that, and delete it. Don't want to see it. So to see very well, you can zoom in extents. So once you zoom in extents, you're able to see this very line. So if you want to check its line weight, just toggle on that line weight, and then you will be able to see it. So the other thing is I'll actually try to offset into the number, or I mean the length that I want here per wall, the room dimension. So now the other thing, I'm going to choose the offset tool. My wall here, my standard will be 200 millimeters. Remember, I set my dimensions to millimeters, so I offset to the right. There you go. And press enter, I right click, I repeat offset. I want to offset to the right again by 4.5. Remember, the minimum room dimension here should be actually 12 meters squared. So I would say the other one will be 4.5. So I'll keep this and offset to the right. Then again, offset my wall, repeat offset, right click, then repeat offset, put the wall thickness, 200 again, right click, press enter, repeat offset, again put 3 meters, this is my side wall, press enter, right click, offset, put 200, then right, press enter, right click, repeat offset. Then I'll take that distance again of actually 4.5, press enter, go this way, right click, repeat offset, put wall thickness, click and press enter. So I have my vertical walls. These are the folds I was telling you about. So first identify, that's how fast you can make it. So again, come and choose, make sure you save every time to avoid the loss of your work, just in case of power interruptions. So the other thing, I'll come to draw, again, choose the construction line. Then this time around, I'm keeping it horizontal, okay? All right, there we go. So I'll offset this one downwards now. I go to offset, I put the wall thickness, which is 200. I kept all my walls to be 200. And then right click, press enter, right click, repeat offset. I want to put, there'll be a veranda, so I want my veranda to be 1.5. So I'll say 500. That veranda will be here, so I'll do that way. Right click, repeat offset, put 200 again. Right, then from there, I need to offset my room size again. It will be 3 meters from this very first line. So I go to offset, then put 3 meters, center, offset, downwards, center, right click, repeat offsets, put 200, center, right click, downwards, and then again, right click, repeat offsets, then I'll go downwards according to my rooms here. I have the one I say 200, I mean 2 meters, sorry. So I'll set this 2 meters, right click, press enter, right click, repeat offsets, set 200 for the wall thickness, press enter. And then I have the very last wall, repeat offsets. So I'll make this room to be 3 meters again, press enter, do that, okay. Click, repeat offset, 200, press enter. All right. Then I think, let me first trim so that you guys can see how far I've gone with this model. So if I want to trim these lines because they're long enough and maybe the upper ones, I don't want to see them. Oh, it's looking ugly. So if I want to trim off the left line, so I right click this line. It's like trimming. I'm trying to trim my nails, so I get my razor blade or whichever blade I use to trim my nails. Then this would be my reference. So the rest means this is my line. This is my line. The line I want. So anything anything exceeding that should be trimmed off. So come to trim, and then highlight at once. Press enter. The same applies to this. Right click over there, then choose this, and then I will be able to do that. Again, choose that over here, trim over there again. Again, do this for this, and then trim off. So I have my model over here. I want to put my rooms, so I want to offset this so that I can make some special room here, which I will call say the bathroom. So I want to offset this very line by 200, so I choose offset, say 2 meters. Again, press enter. Choose this way, press enter. Oops, that's a little bit too small. I can think, let me make it 0.5. So that way, right click, repeat offsets 200, then place it over there. So I can now trim out to see where my actual extents are. So choose the trim tool and then press enter. That's another method of trimming. I beg your pardon. I go to trim over here, the scissor, under the modify panel, choose it. Then a small cube or a small box square will appear. Then you press enter on your keyboard. Then you can come comfortably trim this because walls should not be intersecting. All right. So I'll eliminate this, eliminate that, eliminate this. Control Z. Just want to eliminate that, eliminate this, eliminate that over there. And then this, because walls should not be intersecting. So I want to create something special, something like that. Okay. Something of the sort. Like that. Okay. Remove this. Oops. I want to see this. Enter. I don't want to see this. Delete it. So see, this one must be one line, so I can delete this. And then I want to join this line, guys, to this. So what I do, I just actually highlight this, then come to the trim tool, there's a drop down arrow, I fix extend, and I choose this, it will automatically be there. And again, I'm trimming, come back, choose the trim tool, then I press enter, delete or eliminate the unwanted regions, so that your plan can outstand or can come out well. This is a wall, so don't expect it to be intersecting with anything else. That way, keep eliminating unwanted lines. This tool is unwanted, so this line must join over here. Another way is by choosing over here, make sure object snap is on, then I can come put make sure object snap is on. It will trace or to show me the end point. So bring it over there, and then I can remove it because to make my computer freeze. Then I have my mode over there. Keep saving all the time. I'm trying to look at my sketch that I sketched on the sketch that I did on actually the paper. So I'm trying to lay it over here. I don't want to see these lines. So just highlight there, then trim of that. And then this is my veranda. So pick that, press enter, eliminate these regions, eliminate that, eliminate this over there, eliminate that. Now all should intersect this manner. There should be a gap. Right. So the thing, I'll make this, that, and then I don't want to see this one, I don't want to see. So don't want to see that. All right. There we go with the model. The other thing will be I also want to trim over here. Press enter, remove this, eliminate those regions. Keep it smooth, keep it clean. All right. So oops, we have this, eliminate that and this. I want to put here a dining, guys, to be a dining room, and then I also want to put a sitting room. So a dining room, I'll come simply offset over here by my 3 meters. So at dining of 3 meters. So you see, oops, that's too huge. All right, okay. Shall see how to deal with it. I'm still modeling. Then repeat offset. I'll go to 100 for the wall. Do the same thing over there. Then the rest, I simply want a sitting room, ample space for the sitting room. So let's see. If I wanted to measure, I just simply get my measurement tool here, and then I come into this space. Note that the modern AutoCAD, if you have the latest version, say for 2020 and above, then the dimension is always displayed like this. So you can see the width is 3.5 meters or 3,500 millimeters by 4,500 millimeters. So I want to expand this. I want it 4.5 by 5 meters. So what will I do? Come to my offset tool, and I want to offset 5.5 meters for my sitting room. So take this over there, enter, right click, offset 100 for the wall thickness, and then keep it over there. Then I want to extend this to very line. So what do? First extend this a little bit. So here, make sure your ortho mode is on to keep you straight. That's 0 degrees or 180 degrees. So I'll highlight these, and then I want these to join over here, these lines. So I go to the trim tool, as a drop down, I go to extend, and then highlight over here, highlight over here. So I have my model over here. What else? This line must come over there. This one too must come over here. So the next thing, I want to trim the unwanted region. So do this, also highlight this. Come here, choose trim. I'll trim over this. Then I'll select this line and then trim the protruding lines like that. Choose trim, press enter. Then I can chop off this and then chop off that, and then chop off this. I don't want to see this, so I'll remove it. I don't want to see this. I want to see this. So there we go. Then I want a little bit extend. I want to extend this one, this line by let me see. I want to offset it, say, by 1 meter. Center, extend it over here by 1 meter. then click with offsets 200, press enter. So I have something of the sort. Delete this, stretch, eliminate that. Make this touch over here. Then I will trim in the lines between. So I want to trim this, so I highlight everything. I do that. Also trim off that. So I have my nice corridor there. And then I would like to create a nice design in front here. In fact, I want to put a nice chamfer. We said we have two keywords here. We have chamfering, and then we have also filleting. So chamfering specifically means chamfering means flattening edges of the ends of corners. Trying to remove this unwanted lines. Oops, we have another one here. So get them off. All right, I think we're clear. All right, keep saving every time. So I want to create a special design here and here, and that's called fillet. I mean chamfering. Whenever you make beavers along the corners, and that's called a fillet. So I go to this tool over here under the modify panel. I choose this, and there is filleting and chamfering. So I choose chamfer, and I select the first line. AutoCAD is also asking us to select the first line. I've selected it. Select second line. I select it. Oh, sorry. I beg your pardon. I select the first line. Then I right click, and then I input the angle. I want to chamfer this wall at an angle of, say, 45 degrees. Press enter. 45 degrees, press enter. So I apply the second corner. Oops, it's too small. See, it's too small. So I think let me put the distance, chamfer distance. I say 1.2. Press enter, press enter again. There we go. So my chamfer made in a special way. Repeat chamfer, do it over here and do it over here. Repeat chamfer, I'll do it for this, I'll do it for that. Repeat chamfer, I'll do it for this and also for this. So that's how my model was. That's what I had sketched in my actually on my paper. So please leave it like this. This marks the end of our first part. When I come back, we shall be going to actually putting in windows, and then we shall also do, we shall put windows, then doors, then we can also put in fittings like libraries, objects, beds, and all that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye. See you then.